Hi, my name is Brianna Manassi, and this is my Lesson 8 Perception Analysis video. So, first question. Defend the perspective that the first step in the first 5 decision-making model is the most important. So, this is basically the process of choosing a course of action that involves identifying a decision, acquiring data, and weighing potential answers. So, the first step decision making process is basically a method for making decisions that are beneficial to a certain group. So, in order to solve an issue, the decision making process enables the investigation of all potential solutions and also guarantees that the best one is found. So, the steps included in the decision making process are as follows. Defining the issue, determining and weighing decision criteria, generating alternatives, rating alternatives, selecting and carrying out and assessing the choice. So, by gathering all the necessary data and outlining options, a step-by-step decision-making process can assist you in making a more careful and considered decision. By using this strategy, you basically have a better chance of selecting the option that will be the most fulfilling. The 5-step decision-making model, the first and most crucial step is to define the decision at hand. So basically, the moment a management recognizes the true issue, the decision-making process starts. And each process undertaken in the decision-making process is based on the problem defined, which must be accurate in order for it to have an impact on the steps that come afterwards. So, it's good to consider these questions while determining the issue. What's the issue would be number 1, and can it be solved? Also, is this the actual issue or merely a sign of a more serious one? Can it wait, or does it have to require immediate attention? Also, is it likely to disappear on its own, or can I possibly ignore it? Or, most importantly, what is the main goal, and what is the outcome of the choice intended to achieve? So it takes a combination of information, experience, intuition, to develop such a skill. So the problem must be defined and the best path of action must be chosen using this process. This also requires effective leadership from management as well. So, which is basically the ability to make strategic decisions. The results of a leader's decision have a substantial impact on the company's success in the long run, as well as on the customers, employees, and on the market. So, due to this, it is simple to state that identifying the problem is indeed first and possibly the most crucial stage in the first 5 decision-making process. So, number 2, in what types of work situations would satisficing be appropriate? List at least 3 occupations or industries where satisficing would not be an appropriate strategy for decision making. So I believe that when making decisions, satisficing means aiming for basically a good enough or adequate outcome rather than the ideal outcome. So the theory supports the notion that rather than always seeking the ideal solution, we are ultimately best served by accepting the good enough solution. Satisficing concentrates on practical efforts when faced with tasks rather than exerting your maximum efforts to achieve the ideal result. It can happen when people don't look for other options until they find the one that works for them. For instance, consumers normally choose products that are acceptable rather than ideal, which is basically an illustration of satisficing as well. Another example would be businesses that use the approach of satisficing might aim to generate the bare minimum of revenue and profit in their company. So, by setting goals that are easier to achieve, the work put forward could be equal with the outcomes. Many professions or industries wouldn't not benefit from the use of satisficing as a decision-making method, because sometimes we're under the increasing pressure of basically checking the box and moving on to the next pressing issue, which has led to a degree of complexity in our decision-making and problem-solving processes. And as a result, we are increasingly failing to address the larger and more pressing long-term issues or possibilities. So, examples would be in the fields of medicine, law, and mining. Setting for less is not an option. And because the vast majority of Americans work in one of these three professions, for example, going back to the medical professionals have a huge, significant role in saving people's lives, helping with patients' health, enhancing the quality of life for their patients, and making careers in the healthcare industry is extremely vital. So one would ask you to consider a situation in which a doctor is about to execute a patient's heart surgery, for example, and feels that good enough will do. It will not. There'll be situations where family gets involved, lawsuits gets involved, and jobs could be lost because of this. So satisfaction would not be encouraged, should not be encouraged in situations like those. Another example would be going back to law. So an attorney who does the bare minimum of legal action to prevent someone who's innocent of a crime, and they are doing the bare minimum to keep that innocent person from spending the rest of their lives in prison. Satisficing would not be a good idea in this situation either, because someone who's innocent that could possibly face 25 to life for a crime they didn't commit, that would be wrong. Another example would be a miner who, like a gold miner who suffers an injury in an open pit, or they're exposed to harmful chemicals. Doing the bare minimum and satisficing in that situation wouldn't be good either, because situations like that could be deadly. So, while satisficing can be beneficial, it also can have somewhat negative effects when it leads people to seek impossible goals or to ignore the crucial facts. So, number 3, discuss the relationship between creativity and innovation. Is it possible to innovate without creativity? Is it possible to be creative without innovating? Defend your position. So, while creativity focuses on the development of fresh, practical concepts, innovation entails putting these ideas into new goods and processes. Also, giving people the freedom to occasionally think outside of the box and be unique and think of different ideas and basically defy accepted norms is key to inspiring creativity, in my opinion. It is the capacity of a person to imagine and conceptualize various original ideas or concepts. Now, going into innovation. So, innovation, on the other hand, is the process of turning abstract concepts into reality. So, although innovation is tied to the implementation of something or a good or service, creativity is more so related to imagination and being more creative and thinking outside the box and being unique, creating something new. So, innovation is the adoption or introduction of ideas, methods, techniques. Also, it could entail enhancing or redesigning something that already exists, such as a product, service, or a method. I think that it's possible to be innovative without being creative. But innovation, in my opinion, is not possible without creativity. Excuse me. So basically, innovation merely utilizes what already exists. And a creation would have to have been made in order for something to be invented. So you can't have, in my opinion, you can't be, innovation does not exist without creativity, but creativity can exist without innovation, in my opinion. So, number 4, under what organizational circumstances would you choose a job candidate who exhibited creative potential but lacked practice creativity experience over a candidate who worked in an environment where opportunities excuse me, to develop practice creativities were extensive, but who exhibited less creativity potential? Under what organizational circumstances would you choose a candidate with obvious practiced creativity skills over someone with creative potential? It may be necessary to use critical thinking skills to determine who the best applicant for a position in this workplace, if there are multiple contenders. For instance, a person can have creative potential but not have any practice using their creativity. On the other hand, you might have a candidate who had experience working in a work setting where opportunities to practice creativity were abundant, but they showed less creative potential. So in my opinion, this job would favor a candidate who demonstrates creativity skills over someone with creative potential under specific organizational circumstances. In the workplace, creativity is crucial. Going back to question number 3, it's great for a company to see an employee who's very unique and thinks outside of the box and comes up with different strategies and new ideas to help the company advance. So, again, creativity is crucial to the entrepreneurship that launches new businesses. So, because of this, employers may find new ways to overcome challenges by using creative thinking to come up with original, inventive solutions. The development of business and the generation of having fresh ideas can both benefit from creativity. And because of this, as a result, positive changes will occur at the workplace as a result of encouraging creativity among employees.